Receivers, obviously it can be an important part of the team this year. Talk about Marquez, leading the group. He seems like, he's kind of almost the lone veteran of the guys that have really, played a lot. Just kind of talk about the way he's kind of come out so far and helped other guys along.
Just having his presence back has been great. Just an older voice, a guy that's kind of matured a little bit. He's been through the ringer a little bit, just like all the young guys are going through a little bit. Some maturity issues and things that he's grown out of. And he's really, really trying to be a big-time player for me and really be a sponge and take coaching. So,
what are you looking to accomplish with this receiving core? I mean, what's the ceiling for them?
We want to play really, really hard. That's what we want to do. And everywhere I've ever been, that's just our sole battle cry. Is we're just going to try and play as hard as we can. At the end of the game, we'll look up, see what we got. But we want to have the best fundamentals, best technique in the country. We want to play with a hard edge out there, and we're going to stir up this group in 2 days here, throw them all in a pot, stir them up, see who rises to the top.
Obviously, with such a good running game, that's you obviously want to utilize that a lot. So I guess how much do you guys plan to use the passing game as well in comparison to the running game?
Well, we want to be balanced. I mean, last year we weren't as balanced as we needed to be, and we ran the heck out of the football and did a heck of a job with it, but we couldn't throw the ball very well, and you see what happens, 2 games. So we need to be much more balanced. We need to take some pressure off Bobby, some pressure off the O-line running the ball and packing the box on defense. So we need to be out there, and like I said before a million times, we don't have to be Jerry Rice out there and Chad Johnsons and those guys. We just need to be solid receivers who can make possession catches and every once in a while take the top off, just enough to take the pressure off the run game.
What have you seen from the chemistry between K1 and the receivers? Is it good chemistry so far?
It is. You can tell they've done a heck of a job working in the summer. K1's been a great leader for us, and he's having a great camp. I'm really proud of him, and the receivers are kind of stepping up to the challenge a little bit, and they're excited on the throws that he's been making.
You look at a running game, you have backs like Bobby Ray, Andrews can get outside, can break a big run. Obviously, kind of puts a lot of the responsibility on the receivers to go get blocks downfield. Who else kind of really excelled, getting their downfield blocks this year in fall camp? Really kind of impressed you, and that's kind of the way to get playing time when you kind of run oriented.
There's no doubt. Like well, we got a couple pit bulls in the group. We got Andrew Pettyjohn, Neil Wilson's. JB's been doing a heck of a job in the run game downfield. They've all really been trying to do what I want them to do down the field. You got to live toughness every day. I'm on them. We're not going to loaf. We're not going to play soft at any position, and on offense, especially on the perimeter.
Are we going to see any trickery in the offense this year at all? Are you guys going to do any I don't know if you guys are going to run out of the Wildcat. Obviously,
we'll at least have 15 tricks a game.
There you go.
Obviously, with Andrews in the backfield, though, being able to run and pass, how much are you guys going to be able to utilize all of his skills?
We got a bunch of guys on offense that have played quarterback in high school, so that's always fun. It's always a plus. You can always do some things, and if anything else, scare some people and make them be honest on defense.
I guess looking at your role, I know a lot of people were curious when they saw that Western hired an offensive coordinator, but Williams still going to be calling plays. Like, what is your role with the offense as far? Do you make it most of the game plan, I guess, or
we do it all as a group, all as a team. Everywhere I've ever been, that's how it was at Florida last year, and it's how it is here. We're all going to game plan together. We're going to call it by committee. Coach Taggart obviously it has the final say in everything that we do. He's the head coach. This is his program. It's our offense. It's not his. It's not mine. It's not Coach Wells. It's ours. We're all going to call it together by committee and game plan by committee as well. And obviously with Coach T being the final say in that. So.
Things you saw, building towards these first couple of games. You like what you see last night?
I thought offensively we did some good things. We executed well, especially in our passing game. That was encouraging. And then but defensively we didn't play with a lot of energy, but I think that shows our defense. When we don't play with energy, we don't play well, but when we play with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, those guys play well. So I thought yesterday offense had a better practice than our defense.
Coach, we're talking about the receivers today too. Just what have you seen so far? I think we talked a little bit about it, but now a couple weeks in, just what have you seen from the receivers, and how optimistic are you about going forward with the receiving game?
I think we got some talent at that position. A lot of it's young, so you're going to deal with some things you don't normally want to deal with, but you're also going to get some good behind that too. And you say our guys are young, and we're trying to get them to grow up really fast, and and if we can do that, I think we're going to be okay there. I think we'll probably have another surprise step up out of the blue this year, and but like I said, we have some talent there, and some guys there to get the job done. We just got to bring them along and try to bring them along a lot faster.
We talked to Coach Azzanni just kind of about the plan to balance the offense. Obviously, you got such a good running game with Bobby and Antonio Andrews back there. How much are you looking to use the passing game as well? Obviously you want to mix up with the defense. Just don't want to get them focused on one thing. So I guess how much are you guys looking to balance the offense a little bit?
We know if we want to win a Sun Belt championship or any kind of championship, win a game, we got to build a lot more balance. That was our thing coming in. We want to be balanced, and we expect, like I say, to take some pressure off of Bobby in our passing game. We have some talent there to do it, and that's the expectation. We want to be efficient in our passing game. And again, get those guys the ball so they can run with it.
When you have some home run hitters in the backfield, guys like Bobby and Antonio, is it almost safe to say that for the receivers, it's just as important to have receivers that go downfield and get blocks as it is ones that go and catch passes?
Oh, no doubt. Those guys got to be team players. Overall, and a lot of times when you see Bobby getting those long runs, because those receivers were blocking throughout the entire play. So our guys have been doing a pretty good job of that. We got to get them to catch some balls and run with it afterwards. And help Bobby in that way too. So if we can get that from our guys, I think we're gonna have something special.
I noticed Marcus wasn't in the yellow jersey today, but Ryan Wallace is. Anything with that, or
say that again?
That Marcus Vasquez isn't in the yellow jersey today, but Ryan Wallace is. Is there anything going on with that, or?
No, Marcus should be in the yellow jersey. maybe they put it on the wrong guys.
There you go. Well, I guess just looking at this group, obviously it's going to be a young group. Any young guys you've seen that have really kind of gone the extra mile, stepped up, and really put themselves in a position where they can compete for a starting job here alongside Marcus?
I would say Bo Brand has had a pretty good camp coming along. Been one of the freshmen, and some of those young guys, Joel German, and he's had a pretty good camp. And after that, a lot of those other guys, they show flashes.
Mm-hmm.
They show flashes, and they're getting better. But I would say Bo and Joel is further along than the other guys.
What have you seen from the chemistry between K1 and the receivers? Is it just talk about that a little bit? Obviously, are they building good chemistry throughout fall camp so far?
Oh, they've been doing that throughout the entire camp. Throughout the entire off season, and that's a good reason. That's a big reason why we're completing some balls, executing, and like what we're seeing in our pass game is those guys are understanding now, and not just K1, but the receivers are starting to understand what to do and where to be, and when to run the route a certain distance, and it's timing up, and they seeing it work now, and they're taking pride in it, and I think that's what ultimately is helping us, having an off season where those guys just work really hard and like you say, build that relationship that they need, and we're seeing it now.
Is it almost like a thing, you see some players like in other sports, they kind of know where their guy's going to be. Is it like you kind of get, or they get to feel it for their receivers where they're going to be at all times, and it's kind of just building on that type of chemistry type thing with K1 and the receivers?
Yeah, those guys got to know. If K1 knows and the receiver doesn't know, it's not going to work. It's vice versa. Receivers know and K1 don't know, it's not going to work. Those guys have to know, and they have to do it enough to where they, again, like you say, know where each other's going to be, because again, it won't work if they don't, and the only way they can do it is continue to work at it, do it over and 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 over again until they get it. And then when they do it that many times, they still don't get it sometimes, It's just, but again, those guys have shown that they've been working this off season, and we're still not where we want to be yet, but we've made a big time improvement, and we're coming.